that one.
Yeah, remove my FPL, and I'm going to remove myself from this cast. Let you boys crack on. It should be a little bit of a tasty one. Fish do have taste buds all over their bodies, of course. So, Fish123 versus WEHAWT. Take it away, boys.
Cheers, Jackie, and of course drains his pistol round. Crucial, already no fear, going straight into mid just to see if he can find any info and see exactly where WEHAWT are headed.
Oh, so far though, Fleeve going to be finding the first frag onto Crucial. Cyril will go for the peak to spot the players going up towards short. The question is, though, can Eccles bait for Stanley towards the balcony, or will he go down?
And it's this you can have now. Eccles straight away, straight with a 3K now, and already Cyril getting the next two down. So, nice easy start for Fish to start the day off.
I know, he might play for Fnatic Academy, but right now, he's the one giving the lessons to WEHAWT. 1-0. And with the hat-trick of frags from Adam Eccles, as he goes by.
It's a lovely name, isn't it?
It is.
Good played.
Adam Eccles. But yeah, 1-0 here for Fish123 as we head into the second round. Obviously, the bomb was not planted, so WEHAWT are going to be going for the force buy, and a full force buy at that. All 5 players going to be investing into utility, Kevlar, and of course the weaponry.
Of course, Derziak, as Jackie calls him, the Polish destroyer, does come out with a dig to see if he can find any info coming out, but Crucial does get that crucial pick with T-Sac. Getting a second, and Connor now just trying to wait for some kind of information on that B-Apps. He doesn't know, but there is one over there just waiting for him, and it seems like they will be playing this patiently until they find out what's going on.
Bomb was dropped towards middle. Obviously, the aggression, as you said, from Crucial and T-Sac, so they have that information in the domain. Coming in from the Deagles up close, and it's going to be easy pickings here for the Thalases. A 2K from Stanley and Eccles to find the final frag, which is going to send us into round number 3, I believe. However, there we go. We're all back here. 2-0, and for WEHAWT, obviously, going to be the Felico. $2,000 across the board for Fish123. They have the SMG onto T-Sac. He can try play aggressive, maybe hold for a Palace push or an A push, push in towards middle, try and rack up the cash with that SMG.
Yeah, they will be playing this patiently now, and as you can see, we've spoken about before where with Fish, there is one of their worst maps with Mirage, but of course, playing against another mixed team like WEHAWT's not really too much of a bad shout. Crucial again goes mid to see if he can find the info, but they will find 5 members of WEHAWT coming straight in. T-Sac gets 3 of his own, does back off a little bit to get Eccles for 1, and then nice little 4K by T-Sac there.
Was indeed, and obviously having the SMG is going to be paramount for his economy. $8,400 already for the Greek import for this Fish123 roster. And we go into the first buy round here of the Premiership Grand Finals. Obviously, this is the first best of 3 of the day. The winner of this matchup will go in towards the finals and a share of the 4,750 prize pool. But anyway, into the prize fighting. Flee with the first kill.
And then Crucial gets that trade, and as we spoke about before, where Fish won the last Prem season, they're going to obviously want to continue that win straight from their bat. But as you can see, Boaster is currently running out to see if he can find anything. Hasn't seen anything as of yet, but managed to take out Cyril there. Will be Molly in jungle to see if anyone's there, but sadly for him, Crucial will get that trade. Will get picked up from Palace a little bit, but instead, Connor does manage to take him out from ramp. So at the moment, got A site nice and clear, and it's only Eccles left for Fish.
As you said, only going to be Eccles now into the 1 versus 3. $5,000 in the bag for him. Cash as well across the board here for Fish123. So the best option for Eccles could be to try and take some weapons out of the hands of WEHAWT here. Play for the exit frags and whittle down that T-side economy as much as possible, but it all comes down to the timing.
That's right. Eccles is had a good start so far, but we'll see if he can get any exit. May even go for it. Managed to take out Nico anyway. Sadly gets traded by Connor, and you know, nice little try there. Tried to leave things to the last second to make him try and make some kind of an impact, but sadly for him, it wasn't the case. So we've got now WEHAWT with that first round on the board.
Round number 5 then. First round, as you said, for WEHAWT, and with Eccles getting that final frag before the bomb did eventually expire, it's going to be forcing Boaster onto a UMP. In terms of cash, it's not going to be the most affluent here for WEHAWT on their terrorist side, and if Fish123 do win this buy round, they will be economically resetting the cash for WEHAWT. Send their round loss bonus back down to $1,400, and this could be a very strong lead for Fish, but they still have to make it through the A execution. WEHAWT priming the grenades, priming their aim as well as they charge on towards the A site. as it's down to T-Sack, down to Surreal as well to hold the site.
And speaking of Surreal as well, managed to take down Con in the end. You had Fleeve, who is rotating around to try and catch anyone off guard, but sadly for him, boasting does manage to take T-Sack down. Crucial with an ult of his own, but managed to get taken by Fleeve. I mentioned it before, Fleeve was the only person on that B side hoping to maybe catch anyone off the rotate, but it seems like then managed to take someone down anyway. Fleeve does get another second as well, so with that rotate, great play by Fleeve to catch free off the guard.
Not too sure if I agree with the play there from Fish123. Surreal got the first frag, turned it into a 5 versus 4, and they had full utility still left in the bank. They had a Molotov, smokes, flashbangs, defuse kits. They had a man advantage. WEHAWT have just used 4 smoke grenades to get the bomb even planted towards the A bomb site. If they just wait patiently for the smokes to fade, go for an organized retake, once the utility was expunged from WEHAWT, that could have been around for them, but instead they pulled the trigger too early. Crucial and T-Sack charging through that connector smoke, basically sacrificing their lives there and giving up that advantage they gained.
That's right, sadly for them, it was a little bit of a misplay, but of course it is only the start of the game. It's only the first few rounds in. Of course, there's a lot on the line in this tournament, and Fish do want to keep up their little win streak. And as you can see now, Nico is trying to find someone in B-apps, but Fleeve will be peeking out to see if he can find anyone. Windows, of course, smoked, so he'll be okay to go across from there. But it seems like at the moment, they're just trying to find enough information to see where they go B. But one thing to take into consideration, Snots, is the fact that you've got 4 members of Fish on that B site. Yeah,
going to be the stack here from Fish towards the B bomb site. And right now, the game of lottery, the game of rock, paper, scissors is looking good here for the CTs. And they're going to be walking to the stack. Already the frags all come up trumps for WEHAWT. 4 entries in towards the B site, and now Surreal going to be the only remaining player here from Fish, as he is holding towards B short, hoping to find some exit frags before the round does eventually conclude. Try and get himself an AK, an AWP, if possible, off of Nico. The duel comes out. Dersiak, the Polish Punisher, as Jack put on the desk, going to be cementing WEHAWT their 3rd round as we go all tied up into the 7th round.
Not going to lie, I do love that name. That name, good, isn't it? It is good. You can't really complain from there. Of course, you had Surreal, was on his Larry a little bit, trying to at least try and get anything he can, well, not get anything going, but at least get a gun to save for next round, but sadly it just wasn't to be. And as you can see now, WEHAWT going straight in for a very quick A push, and as he does that, going straight in, like we mentioned before, he is that kind of guy with no fear, will go straight in, no holds barred, and like for them, Connor and Nico do get a pick, Surreal does get a trade on Dersiak, and it seems like now, like you mentioned before, Snods, they just need to be patient with the smokes, just try and at least buy their time, not panic too much, see if they can catch one off guard, but sadly for them, it just wasn't the case, and again, just Eccles left standing on CT.
Once again, all on the shoulders of the Fnatic Academy player, Eccles. But this time, even this one seems unwinnable. 1 versus 4, no defuse kit. Has the M4 to salvage, but it might find himself a few extra frags here as they walk into his crosshair. Only good enough for 1 they want to flee, but apart from that, WEHAWT now going to be surging ahead with the 1 round advantage. Obviously, that advantage may grow larger when we consider the buy from Fish123. That's all they're going to be able to afford here, Harry. There's going to be a few sets of armor, some upgraded pistols, but apart from that, this should be a 5th round here for WEHAWT.
Yes, not the best of buys, but ever since WEHAWT won that first buy round, it's been a real struggle for them, and it's going to be quite worrying for Fish. It's going to be a bit of pressure on their side now, considering they've not won that buy round ever since. And of course, they will get that 5-round loss bonus afterwards if anything does happen, but Crucial, of course, does get upped in that start of the round, and as you can see, WEHAWT will be potentially made that play for B in case Eccles just managed to get a kill of his own.
Let's see what he can do then. Pushing in towards B apartments. Nico going to be holding for that angle with the AWP. So no gain as of yet towards B apartments, but what about B short? Again, all coming out in favor of WEHAWT. It's going to be Surreal now last alive into the 1 versus 5. Once again, deja vu to what we saw towards B short, where he was trying to hope that someone from WEHAWT walked out, as you put it, on their Larry and gave away an AK for free, but don't think Bose is going to be letting that one slip this time around as well. 5-3 as we go into round number 9. 2-round advantage here for WEHAWT and Fish123. As you said, 5-round loss bonus, $3,400 going to be injected into their bank balance after each and every round. And with that, what's going to be the buy here for themselves going forward? So far, just going to be the AWP for Crucial. 4 M4s as well, 2 defuse kits and Molotovs, smokes, flashbangs. If they get the advantage here early on, they can play a retake with the utility they have.
Yeah, a decent utility this time around. And Fleeve, I want to point him out as well. It's the fact that he's one of those players where sometimes he'll come out the woodwork and do really well in some of his games, but sometimes it's complete opposite end of the spectrum. Like, you get some players who will play average or really well, or you get some do really well and really bad. But with Fleeve, he seems to be quite on point today. That's
the issue, though, when you come in as a stand-in, right? You're plugged into the positions that the other player who usually is there would typically fill. You have to play these newer angles maybe you're not used to. You haven't got your solidified position within the team, or your CT positions you're going to have to forfeit, essentially. So that can be one of the factors to the inconsistency. But as you said, so far, WEHAWT are looking good, and especially Fleeve to highlight that. Once again, though, eyes gaze towards the A site from Fish as they have 3 players positioned outside this site. Obviously Crucial with the jump towards B short did gain them the 1 frag entry, and Surreal as well to get an extra 1. But does set up the fast reply.
Fast indeed, and of course T-Set does come and get second of his own. Boaster must come straight in, but he's on his own at the moment. He's going to really struggle here. 3 HP. And it's not looking too good for the WEHAWT side, but finally Fish managed to win that first buy round, so at least that's a little bit more pressure off him coming into this.
So, 4-5. Tactical timeout going to be called. Not sure which team that's by. Obviously, for both teams it makes sense. Makes sense for Fish because they have to delegate the amount of money they have left and also work out what the strategy is going to be, because if they lose this round, Harry, the reset is there once again. And for WEHAWT, they know that this round means a lot. If they win this one, they're going to be economically resetting Fish, and they can get themselves into essentially an 8-4 advantage early on, because they win this round, they'll force out a weak force buy from Fish. If they win that versus the Pistols, then an eco of USPs. So it is the Fish123 tactical timeout, Harry, which means they are going to be trying to work out the most effective way they can spread their wealth and cash as we are going back into this one. How are they going to be structuring their CT side defense to try and nullify, well, the onslaught from WEHAWT so far, as they're the ones that had that 5-round winning streak?
That's true, and one thing you've got to take into account with most teams when they do a tactical timeout, normally it's because they've had a few round losses. There's some losses in which you could say, you know, could have done it a lot earlier, or maybe it's a bit too late. It depends on the tactical timeout. People kind of underestimate it a little bit. And I think the main thing is Fish, even though they won that round, they wanted to talk things over just a little bit, just to make sure that everyone's got a head on straight, make sure that everything was going on that. And the one problem is the fact I'm hoping this tactical timeout might actually help him a little bit. Not just like came on from that last round, but to go on throughout this whole game.
Well, they're going to need quite the help now, as the site is in the domain of WEHAWT. Once again, the A site execution in towards jungle. Connector in one of those positions. Stanley, though, with a good one here, up close and personal in towards jungle. And so far, the peak comes through, gets the drop early onto Boaster in the second as well. Nearly able to snipe down the third. However, it's going to be surreal to find that third frag and send us into the 2 versus 5.
Fleef did make a good play, actually, coming behind him, but it was just a little bit too late. He managed to have B-site all to himself by the time that all of Fish rotated. So make it 1. Sadly, doesn't get a second on Eccles. And I felt like just there with Fleeves, he did make a good rotation, maybe kind of shifted a little bit too much considering he had B-site to himself. He knew exactly what was going on. So maybe if he pushed out just a little bit quicker, maybe just ran straight there rather than actually waiting around and just walking. Maybe he's been a bit too cautious, then he would have been okay. Yeah,
obviously I don't think he anticipated Stanley to get 2 frags instantly and basically turn the round on its head. However, I mentioned it in the first buy round, I wanted to see Fish123 go for the retakes, and that's exactly what they did there. They waited for the smokes to fade. They faded. Stanley had the drop on the 2 players in towards jungle, and the round was won in their favor. So, we're going to be seeing more calculated and conservative plays from Fish. I guess time will tell as early on. Crucial. Going to be tagged up to 17 HP. But actually, it's going to be Eccles through the smoke there. Fortune does favor those who dare to try, and to spam through that smoke, he definitely won the lottery today. But minute 15 left on the clock, and right now for WEHAWT, they're going to have to be recalibrating themselves after losing the first player towards B.
it seems like they fixed the mistakes. The first thing you pointed out was their patience. They seemed to panic in certain situations, which was completely unnecessary. And I think, just from the saying the stats themselves, you could tell straight away that they realised that mistake. I think that's when they did the timeout after that first round. I think they were just saying, guys, like, you know, what's going on? I think we need to be a bit more patient. I think we should have been, you know, not over-aggressive on that CT side, but just be a bit more patient in terms of exactly what's going on and just try and feed off any information, because small talk is extremely important, especially on CS. And one thing you've got to take into account is the fact that if you're panicking too much, and that kind of, as a player, I always feel like it's extremely difficult to take in any kind of information, especially with the comms. So I'm glad for Mash to do that. But ever since that tactical timeout, look at this. It's going to be potentially 3 rounds on the bounce for Fish.
Ooh, let's take a look at it then. NiKo, Stanley opening up this round on its head. As it's all down to the AWP of WEHAWT. 1 versus 4 here. As it seems like Fish123 basically just throwing themselves at the scope from NiKo. Obviously, the best option here for the CT side is to try and kill NiKo after time and render him without the round loss bonus. But instead, it seems like he will survive so far. 6-5, and as you said, the 3 consecutive round win here for Fish123 as we head into, once again, another pause. I imagine this time it's going to be from the opposition, WEHAWT. So, what do they change? So far, we've seen them go towards the B site and the pistol round, and obviously that went in favour of Fish123. Apart from that, each and every buy round they've gone towards middle, through connector, or they've gone towards the A bomb site with their 3-set smoke execution towards that A site.
It's quite a struggle as well, because as I've just been confirmed, WEHAWT, that is actually their tactical pause. And what I like about Fish is the fact that you've got players like Crucial who's going straight up top mids, especially in the first few rounds, and I think ever since then, they're kind of a little bit scared, a little bit pressured to actually make an attempt to even push it, because obviously the only other way they can come through is maybe go underpass. But of course, you've had Eccles stopping them from going through that B-apps on so many occasions, especially through those smokes. And they kind of feel like B site has been not impossible, but a real struggle. And I think Fish now are going to maybe make that assumption now. They'll obviously push on A side a lot more. But from this tactical pause, we're going to see if WEHAWT do actually try and make another attempt on that B site to see if they can get away from any pressure coming from that mid and B-apps.
Well, maybe that could be the adjustment they make. And as you said, Crucial been locking down towards that middle vicinity of the map. He does the short jump, sees the little gap in the smoke towards top mid. WEHAWT are going to have to be adding a top mid flashbang to their defaults if they want to be avoiding walking into Crucial scope. Let's see what the adjustment is going to be. Obviously, both these teams being the mixes, obviously that does take out from the intensity, the weight of this matchup, having 2 mixes instead of 2 established teams that have that historic rivalry. However, we've got to make do with what we have, and what we do have in front of us is a very even matchup so far. Only 1 round separates these 2 teams, as WEHAWT are going to be going for the later mid control. Hopefully they do flash it this time as expected, but it seems like Cruz was anticipating that change in the default as well.
That's right, he's just patiently waiting to see if anyone does push up, and of course he's done so much work in mid apart from that last AWP shot. Finally gets taken down, and it seems like WEHAWT managed to find the answer, and it was just the fact that Crucial missed those first 2 shots, which is quite a shame, because we mentioned Crucial so much in the pre-game, mentioning how well he's been doing, how consistent he's played, especially on Mirage. It's kind of one of his go-to maps, and even though with Fish it's not really one of their best maps, probably one of their worst maps in the pool. But we spoke about it before, Mirage is one of those structured maps, but it's a good map to have, especially against another mix. So maybe with Crucial, it'll take a bit of time to go into this game, so I think it will take a bit more time for him to kind of get into the swing of things.
Oh, finally some action then towards the B site for Eccles as they're going to be walking 1 by 1 into what seems to be their demise. First frag found, and unfortunately that's going to be it there from the CT side of Eccles. The rotations here. Stanley on the site. Missing that spray as well, unable to connect the headshot on towards Dersiak, as he will be capitalizing off of the misfortune there from Stanley. And the rotations are going to be cut in half by the scoped weapon of NiKo, as he can snipe down towards Kitchen. T-Sack going to be walking into what he doesn't realize is the scope of NiKo, but it seems like whiffs are coming out from both sides here early on.
That's right, whiffs left, right and center. First from Crucial, now from NiKo straight afterwards, but it seems like WEHAWT managed to get that vital round on the board. That was so crucial considering the circumstances they're in. It was the last few rounds, it's not really gone their way. I even said beforehand during that tactical timeout that you know, when it comes to the execution of that B site, they've really, really struggled. They had Crucial being the right pain in mid, trying to AWP in any way left, right, and centre. But it seems like then finally they found, you could say some kind of an answer, but I wouldn't say it's an answer. It's more the fact that Fish made quite a lot of mistakes to let him onto that site.
Yep, completely agree there with you on that one. The fact that Stanley missing that easy shot where Dersiak wasn't even looking at him as well. If he gets that frag onto the site, suddenly it's a 3 versus 2, and WEHAWT don't get the bomb down as fast as they did in the last one. So a very, very different outcome could have happened for sure. So through the smoke once again. Actually, no apologies. It was Crucial towards underpass, as they do have a player in towards CPL, but even then he's not going to be used just yet. Stanley not getting the action he was anticipating after seeing 3 players towards B short from WEHAWT, as the remaining players now from the terrorist side located towards A. Molotov going to be flushing out the peak from Cyril, but all it does is just basically make that kill easier for him. And Freckles as well will be finding the last one on to Nico. So 7-6 here as we head into the penultimate round here on the first matchup of the grand finals of the Premiership. 7-6 as Fish123 seem to have found a band-aid for their issues early on.
That's right, and of course with Crucial, every single time they try to go from mid, he's played from window to short, and this time he came from underpass. They can't, it's very hard, definitely a player hard to predict in terms of where to actually execute. And it seems like it's really affecting going into this, but it looks like all of WEHAWT are going to go straight from Palace, straight from ramp as well. But T-Sac managed to get free of his own, and Cyril gets a nice little 2K of it, of course, as well. So, nice quick round just to get out of the way. And of course, with WEHAWT now, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, not full utility, but hopefully enough to potentially get him through this round.
Well, let's take a look at it then. Final round of the first half. And no AWP coming out from the T side. Actually, Galil as well onto Boaster and Connor, as the Galil's already going to be getting some action early on, but the Molotov will be delaying the assault so far from WEHAWT, but they're going to be going through it anyway.
Yeah, Connor with a nice cheeky shot then. Of course, Fleeve does manage to get trade on T-Sac. Crucial gets another one of his own. Sadly, just barely misses Boaster there, and Dersiak gets one more as well. But it's still possible for Eccles. He is on CT waiting for them, but what he doesn't know is, will WEHAWT make that rotation? Or maybe fake it? But you can remember, Boaster only on 16 HP, Dersiak on 17. Eccles in a very good spot at the moment. Only problem is, will WEHAWT decide to make that rotation to B, or will Eccles try and maybe wait on Isai, or maybe even make the same rotation?
Eccles here, currently playing a game of chess with the mental antics of WEHAWT. The double bluff coming in to action here as WEHAWT walk into Eccles' trap. Let's see then. Going to be hiding towards under balcony. Both these players, Boaster and Dersiak, onto low HP. One spray down could essentially annihilate both the players here from WEHAWT. As they're walking out slowly and patiently, the bomb going to be dropped as well. But now Eccles is telegraphed exactly where he is. And from above, from behind, is Dersiak to find that final frag. And you got to be saying it, if Eccles had played the patient game, Dersiak would have walked off the balcony and conceded his life as well. However, that's going to be it then from the first half as we go into the halftime break. Yeah,
you took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking to myself, will he go straight for that kill, or will patience be inevitable? Because in those kind of situations, you don't know exactly what's going on. He knew Dersiak was still about. He could have easily come from Palace. He could have easily come from above Dark. Maybe he could even come from Connected. There's so many different places he could have came from. But maybe, in my opinion, I would say Eccles maybe just a little bit impatient. You've got to remember, both of them were very weak in those kind of circumstances. But I suppose when he thought they were in 17 and 16 HP, he probably assumed, like, you know, maybe it's not a bad of a risk taken. But of course, it wasn't very good for a high risk, high reward moment. And of course, Dersiak did finish him off to get that last round.
Oh, well. Speaking of patience in the last round, now all of that's out the window as they're going to be charging in towards the B-bomb site. Flee with the first, as he is still alive and kicking. But as I say that, it all falls down to the capable shoulders of Connor. One frag, but unable to get any more than that as we head ourselves into the 3 versus 1. The Polish Punisher now into the clutch situation, and right now his team need him more than ever. Oh, but Stanley lighting things up towards that B-bomb site. Finds himself a hat-trick of frags towards B on that pistol round. And now for Fish123, all players into the double digits in terms of frags. 10 for Crucial, Stanley and Surreal as well. 16, oh, apologies, 15 for both Eccles and T-Sac. So, not the players we're expecting. On the desk, well, we were the desk. We predicted that Crucial and Surreal, Stanley were going to be the firepower players to deliver the frags for Fish123, but it seems like it's already going to be catching us off guard here. The firepower falling into a place we weren't expecting it.
Well, it's not a league match this time, is it? Of course, is this the final? Things will change, and sometimes players' personas do play in their character, especially going into this match. And you're absolutely right, Eccles and T-Sac doing a fantastic job so far. And we know they're great players anyway, but we expected the limelight to be on Crucial and Surreal, some of the players here. But it seems like so far, in terms of stats, everyone's doing, you know, they're all pulling their weight, all doing their own thing. It's not actually too bad so far. No one's having a very bad KD, and no one's going like off the charts so far. But, you know, going to the second half, we'll have to see how it goes with WEHAWT's CT side.
Well, for WEHAWT here, stacking 5 players towards the B-bomb site, taking that risk. But not every single time it can be met with reward. As actually, now that the fact that Fish have gone towards the A site, you could argue now for WEHAWT, they can save all 5 weapons, have another buy into the 18th round, but it seems like Boast is getting quite greedy here as he wants some extra kills.
Yeah, he wants the extra bit of change. I don't blame him. He's trying to catch someone off guard. Someone does push him, but Crucial doesn't realise it. But Boast is in a fantastic spot for anyone to come through there so far. But we'll have to see if Boaster does get a frag, maybe get some weapons to bring back for that next round. And they haven't got too much to save, but at least they save a little bit. But managed to take Stanley down a little bit. Sadly doesn't get that frag on the board, but it looks like everyone will be going off anyway.
As Ross Kemp would put it, got hot in there, so I got out of there. Dersiak and Fleeve able to collect some exit frags here to add to their tally of kills. Surreal, though, the MAC-10, going to be thwarting all of that. Gets himself $1,200 worth of kill reward just off of those 2 kills. So money and cash sent straight to the bank. Round number 18 then, as we head into the eco from WEHAWT. But then again, Nico surviving with his deagle and weapon. Connor surviving with his scout. Dersiak able to pick up the Galil meat. He can drop over his saved eagle to Fleeve. So their eco is a lot stronger than anticipated, potentially from Fish123.
Ross Kemp, I've not heard that name in a while, but of course WEHAWT will try and cause some drama of their own. But it looks like they will be playing it safe. They're not going to be stacking sites this time round. And as you can see, Eccles goes straight onto that site of that MAC-10, see if he can find anyone, but nothing, as you can see. But it will find one, but Sandy Pim, Dersiak does take him out. Dersiak does get traded by Surreal, and it seems like A site is open for him. But the question is, will WEHAWT make an attempt for this retake coming in? As you can see, Boaster does manage to get one of his own on Crucial, which is quite surprising in that kind of manner. But it seems like now WEHAWT will be trying to make that attempt, trying to execute that site back and see if they can get anything going for that defuse.
They have the man advantage. They lack the defuse kit, as you said, so time is of the essence. They need to find these kills quickly and with speed. Let's see though, 3 versus 3. Boast with the AK in towards jungle. Doesn't have Kevlar though. Connor as well, the scout, going to be landing the tag onto T-Sac. Unfortunately, not quite the frag as the kills, oh my goodness, are going to be going in favor of Nico with that Desert Eagle. However, the time, the moment has passed as the bomb will be expiring. 7-11. As with the 4-round advantage, we head into the first buy round of the second half. And the favourites right now on their map pick with the lead.
And one thing you've got to take into consideration as well, so Fish have won both pistol rounds, and of course, this will be WEHAWT's first buy round. Considering the circumstances, we'll have to see exactly how this plays out. Do have full utility. We'll be trying to make a comeback on this, of course. Nico will be open mid to see if he can catch anyone off guard. Crucial, of course, will be doing of his own. Does get info on one member on CT. Stanley, we'll see if he can try and find him, but doesn't exactly go for him in all calls. But Dersiak, straight away with those first 2 picks. Boaster, Sneaky gets one of his own on Surreal, and only 2 members left now. But Stanley managed to hold on strong for Fish, and it's going to be maybe a little bit of a struggle, but Crucial, open like he is at the moment, getting into the swing of things like I mentioned before, had a little bit of a slow start. Struggled a little bit holding that mid site when he was on that CT side, but it seems like he is getting back into things.
Crucial now on the 1 versus 3. Brought in as a mercenary in the UK scene, and right now He's going to have to be delivering kills for cash, or not. You know, Harry, you hype up these situations, you know, Big Apple and Snacks is hungry, but it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. And, yeah, that's quite unsatisfying, to be fair. Not even one kill. Not even one kill.
It was. I might just stop hyping him now because it's obviously, you know, every time I hype him up, it's just like a complete no-go. But, you know, it's just one of those things, sadly. But, again, exactly the same as what we saw in the first half. Fish do win that pistol round. WEHAWT win the first buy. And now the exact same thing has happened. And Fish, you know, even though they're up 11-8, they will push themselves a little bit. Yeah,
it's true, right? Deja vu, as you said, from the first half, and they're going to get that cushion of rounds. If they can win this one, force out an eco from Fish123, try get to a 10-11 scoreline before the buy rounds do resume again. However, Nico with the first frag, so far this eco, quasi-C-Sed sort of buy isn't really paying out too well. But the Molotov's going to be dished in towards Connector. Going to be giving Dersiak some freedom to go for the peek over the flames. But Fleeve, Nico, all the AWPs making all the noise right now as the kills fall like dominoes. So far, 4 frags, all 4 at the hands of the AWP. As it falls now into Stanley's capable hands. Ooh, actually a little bit of a whiff there from Boaster, but eventually going to be saving it from Dersiak. So 11-9 as we head into the 21st round. But, and it's a big one, going to be heading into a buy round for Fish. They're going to have enough cash now to invest into the Kalashnikovs, into the AKs.
I did feel sorry for Eccles at one stage because he literally shift-walked the entire way from T-spawn, from Palace, all the way around just to try and get enough information to see exactly what's going on. But, you know, managed to assist Dersiak on that mid-site, but I was hoping for him that Elias would be able to get something done. But Stanley did peek out with that molly, but sadly for him, Boaster does manage to take him out, so already a fantastic start into this round. But it looks like Fish will be making an execution for that ace site, and to have to see, but the only problem is they've got Dersiak, Boaster, and Nico all waiting for them. So we'll have to see how this round goes.
Well, let's see as T-Sack towards the B site, going to be equalising the numbers into a 4 versus 4. But as I say, that Connor's here to deliver the damage for WEHAWT. Dersiak pushing through the bench smoke, trying to see if he can find a player. Eccles, though, there is a complete shift around the smoke as well as they swap places with each other. And suddenly, just like that, in a flurry of frags, it all falls in favour of the CT side. 10-11 as we head into the 22nd round, and Fish123 once again are going to be lacking the funds to be able to afford themselves a full buy as they're back down onto the pistols.
And looking at the KD so far, again, it's still very similar. No one's having an off game. There's no weak links during this game so far. T-Sack's probably the one that stands out the most, going 18-11. And it's quite funny now, because WEHAWT, it seems like their buy rounds have been very efficient, and it's ever since that first buy round as well. It's the same as what we were talking about before, where Fish would struggle a lot more going to these games. And of course, Connor now with those 2 picks. Crucial does take out Eccles, maybe just to giving WEHAWT a little bit more of a chance, you could say. But, of course, that round does go to WEHAWT. But, you know, this is going to be crunch time now. This is going to be, you know, this is where it's going to get really interesting, where the pressure is going to be on for Fish, because they've been really struggling these buy rounds. And I feel like I haven't found an answer, so I wouldn't be surprised to see another timeout.
Yeah, good point to bring up, obviously, the tactical timeouts to try and recalibrate themselves on their T side, to work out some strategy and try and plug the holes of their terrorist side so far. They're going to have to think fast as we see the Astralis mid-default come out where you smoke towards top middle and then take it. The problem is, though, they may have misplaced that smoke, and there's a little gap in there, which is going to be taken advantage of by Crucial. Dersiak as well towards underpass, going to be finding the head of Surreal. So, kills. Still going to be falling in favour of both teams as we head into the 3 versus 3. Altercation towards underpass, but it is eventually traded out by Stanley. So, the Flames going to be dealing the final blow to Dersiak as well from Eccles as we head into the 3 versus 2. B site going to be conceded by Fleeve as he plays towards Kitchen. As well for Nico, the AWP going to be playing towards CT, so both AWPers playing very passive, and with that, giving up the sites.
That's right, Nico will have to seriously be on top of things considering the circumstances. And it seems like now Eccles is just making sure that No one is going to be potentially rotating from short. But Nico's been patient. He is still waiting. He will find out eventually, getting Molly back. And sadly for him, will get smoked off. There's not really too much you can do here. The bomb will go down. Just gets taken out by T-Sac then. And it's just Fleeve all on his Larry again, which is a bit of a shame for him, but it will be saving, maybe trying to get those exits.
Well, well, well. WEHAWT going to be spotted towards bench. Fleeve tagged down to 48 points of health. Has the AWP, remember, so it's one shot to the body. And he will find that frag onto Eccles. So now they know exactly where he is. The smoke going to be sending a distraction potentially too crucial with his AWP. As now a game of cats and mouse does ensue towards the B side. Crucial could go for the knife here up close. Does spot the player up, but Fleeve going to be darting around the smoke. Going to be staying alive here as he's just up against T-Sac. And will survive with the AWP still in hand. So 12 to 11 as we head into the 24th round. And the lead back in the hands of Fish. And the problem for WEHAWT there is when you have the double AWP set up, when you have the 2 AWPs remaining, the place where they are not most effective is in the retakes, is up close, when you have to retake those sites versus the Ts that have hold of it. So the fact that both of them are playing for retakes onto their assigned sites isn't exactly the most pragmatic approach, but let's see. As Fleeve did save the AWP, so they have cash to still go for the full buy into the 24th round, and maybe that's their saving grace.
I would hope so, in that kind of retrospect. And of course, we've been talking about before that WEHAWT made a nice few round comeback, especially since that first buy round. But Fish have found an answer. They've managed to adapt. Like I say, better late than never, but it seems like now, still got a bit more time to kill. So it seems like, I'm just going to say Stanley will be waiting patiently to see if he can get any picks from any possible rotations. T-Sac will be pushing very slowly to see if he can find anything which is going on. We'll get that smoke off. But one thing to take into account though, Derziak and Nico will be waiting there for him. As you can see, Eccles and Crucial now. Straight onto the side. Still haven't found anything yet, which to them is going to be quite peculiar. But I'm going to make that assumption that we will find someone on CT. Eccles, of course, does get that trade. Stanley gets one of his own on Boaster. But Derziak,
Ooh.
not his style, I don't think, considering how aggressive he normally is. It's quite weird in that retrospect, but sadly for him, will get taken down.
Yeah, 2 versus 3 here. And WEHAWT are going to be throwing in the towel and conceding this round once again. $9,000 in the bank balance for Fleeve, so he's not doing too bad for himself. He can afford the drops of the M4s over to Boaster, over to Nico as well. Even the double up setup as well, potentially if they wanted to bring that back out. However, it feels like Fish have sent some weakness in towards middle now. Last round, it was the split in through B short and through B apartments. This round is the split in through connector and through the A site. WEHAWT right now are being dismantled towards middle and then exploited towards connector, towards B short to open up these bomb sites. As we saw in the last round, I think it was Eccles towards bench, was able just to freely walk through jungle, walk up connector, walk in towards triple boxes as well, as you would put it, on his Larry. With no one spotting him from WEHAWT, which is definitely not plausible. They're going to have to be fixing those gaps in their CT side defense if they want a chance to bring this one back on the map pick from Fish. As the next one is Train, a notoriously strong map for a few of the players from Fish, notably Crucial. But let's see, this game isn't over just yet. Only 2 rounds separate these 2 teams as we see mid-control once again from Fish.
Yeah, it does seem quite strange now that WEHAWT, in terms of their setup, defending some of these sites, yeah, there's a lot of openings. And of course, Nico's not going to expect anyone to come from jungle to walk straight into him from the right side. He's going to be watching that ramp, the Palace, Tetris the entire time. And of course, Eccles managed to get that crucial opener earlier. But as you can see, Fish, they've adapted well. They managed to find that opener. Again, Stanley with that first hit, just try and go for a second, and does get that Derziak as well as Boaster. Just try and get Fleeve, but Fleeve managed to get that crucial trade, and T-Sac trades back in that circumstance. So Fish right now, seems like WEHAWT, it's their turn to not be able to find an answer, but Nico is still around on CT, open, just trying to get anything going, and does manage to get that game sense going to at least try and find that guy in jungle, but sadly misses. So a few whiffs and maybe miscommunication here and there.
Oh, Nico, nice shot there in towards the fireboxes onto Surreal. As the default site is smoked, and Eccles can now plant front of triple for jungle. So good after plant position here for T-Sac as the bomb is planted for him. As the retake does begin. Connor towards CT. Nico as well towards the aforementioned CT position. So both the CT players coming in from the same angle, which does make the retake quite one-dimensional. And that could be an issue for them because right now for Fish, they can play the crossfire, they can play a bait setup, they can play for the bomb. So many options here in the hands for the T's.
That's right, it's going to be extremely difficult, but luckily for Eccles, he managed to get Connor and Nico's all on his own. He hasn't really got too much time left, and it seems like he still missed another shot, which is quite unusual for Nico. He managed to get some decent picks when he was in that 2v4 scenario, but sadly for him, it just wasn't to be, and I think he knew he was in there. Not the greatest of states, but one thing I want to point out is the fact that they managed to get into window quite easily the last couple of rounds, so it's just a few things we need to take into account, and getting away with that twice in a row, it's, I'll probably say quite unusual.
Yeah, once again, though, able to, as you said, get in towards middle, boost up towards window. If it's not connector, now it's window. There's always a loophole in their defense. So, Nico. Ooh, that's a nice flick there onto Stanley to kick things off with a man advantage for the CT side. And for WEHAWT, they need these advantages early because in the middle portions of the round, that's where they really start to get manhandled. But, minute 30 left on the clock here. 14 to 11. Fish123, 2 rounds away from solidifying themselves with the one map advantage. Apologies. As we see some more kills in favour of WEHAWT though. 3 versus 5 with a minute 10 left on the clock.
As you were saying that, yeah, T-Sac gets that crucial pick on Derziak there. And it's been quite an interesting game this, but the only problem is the fact that with Fish, now they're at 14-11, WEHAWT can't take any risks. For example, they can't push up on certain parts of the site a little bit deeper, just try and find out any information on what Fish are up to. They've run out of rounds for that now, so they literally just have to play it safe the entire time. Maybe they can be a little bit more unorthodox, maybe a bit unpredictable and take those risks. But again, it's not looking too good. But from this round, still got Eccles and Cyril left. This could be the opportunity for maybe even close this match out, or for WEHAWT to make that slow but surely comeback.
WEHAWT though, going to be going for the gamble towards that B-bomb site. Nico with the AWP locked in towards Kitchen, backed up by the low HP player of Fleeve. That's why they got the additional player here, as Fleeve is low HP towards the Bravo site. But Eccles has an inkling here that there is a player lurking in towards Kitchen. The Molotov's going to be dished out towards the CT side of the map, but the peek comes in from Fleeve, and that's it. 2 seconds left, the bomb no longer able to be planted, and it's going to be the 12th round now for WEHAWT. As we head into the 27th round here, Harry, this game still very close. 2 rounds separate these two teams, and in terms of cash as well, Fish123, they're going to be going for the force buy here, so they have enough to go for a few rifles, 3 AKs, 1 Galil for Stanley, a CZ as well for Eccles. But apart from that, if they lose this round, it goes 14 to 13. Then an eco as well, so we should be seeing 14 to 14. This could be setting us up for overtime in a first matchup.
Yeah, not too bad of a first map of the day. Can't complain. Of course, WEHAWT have adapted a little bit to what Fish are up to on that T side, but it's like I mentioned before. We said it in the pre-game as well, that with WEHAWT, if they want to try and make any kind of impact against Fish, they have to try and do some high-risk, high-reward plays to really try and actually turn things around. But they have started to do it, but the problem is the fact that, like I mentioned before, it's the 12th round for them. Fish do have 14, which does mean that they can't take any risky plays. Not too risky anyway, but speaking of risk, Eccles goes straight from that connector to take out Derziak and jungle. Already a man down. It's not looking too good, considering you do have Boaster on that CT, but managed to get Eccles anyway. But as you can see with Fish, does manage to finally take out Boaster, but it's going to be quite a struggle from him.
Easy pickings here. Fish123 in towards that A side. Oh, crucial there, going to be finding Fish123 match point with the spray transfer onto Connor and Fleeve. 15 to 12, and just as we were hyping up WEHAWT, sending Fish into economic turmoil, almost forcing and drawing out the eco to send us into a 14-14 score, and almost destined for overtime. They fall short to the once again, weak defense towards this A site. They can come in through connector and basically just find openings and advantages each and every time.
Yeah, it seems like now, after getting that 15 round, especially with Eccles, crucial earlier with that fantastic spray, but Eccles does get that first pick, and like I mentioned before, TSAC currently going 23 and 13 in this game. Constantina's definitely showing how it's done, and it's going to be a bit of a struggle now. Boaster is in mid-window to see if Fisher playing up to little games going through that window, but it seems like that won't be happening this time round. They got away with it twice, but definitely not third time lucky. Connor does get taken out by Surreal, and it's not looking too good for this WEHAWT side. It's could potentially be their last saving grace, their last round for WEHAWT, as Fish could maybe take this 28th round.
Ooh. Boaster, though, with a double frag in towards jungle. Notices another player close vicinity as well, in towards connector. And suddenly, out of nowhere, frags fall in favor of the CT side. And now, though, we witness the 1 versus 1. Fleeve, Hungarian import, brought into the Prem finals as a mercenary to try and match Fish123 in terms of skill 1-for-1. And Surreal, a staple of the UK scene, to try and basically grant Fish123 this one-map lead into this best-of-3. As right now, he is anticipating Fleeve to come in towards jungle or towards connector, and he wouldn't be wrong.
Straight away gets a fantastic molly, but unluckily for him, Surreal manages to take that for Fish, and straight off the bat, that first map going to Fish, it was a little bit of a struggle at some stages, and I think with those 3 pistol rounds, it really did help Fish close that out, I would say, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that scoreline there, right? 16-12, and they won both pistols. Remember, that's a difference of 6 rounds. That could have very easily been. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
Oh, no.
That could have very
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, he just sat there watching us, third wheeling, obviously. But yeah, I think the pistols made a difference. What would you say about that, Jack?
It was good. More interestingly enough, though, the big kicker is obviously WEHAWT have finally lost Mirage. They've fallen to Fish123. What actually went down there, boys?
It's quite a lot to say, really, isn't there? It's like, you know, losing those 2 pistol rounds didn't help, but there were so many different situations where, you know, it's kind of like what you said before, is like deja vu, where, you know, both pistol rounds were lost and then instantly WEHAWT would win the buy round straight away. But a lot of those times WEHAWT didn't really have enough information on that CT side to decide whether to rotate, and there was quite a lot of slow rotations here and there, but there was a few things, especially in those mid-window pushes and stuff like that, where there was way too many openings, and I just felt like Fish just kind of got away with way too much in certain scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be writing WEHAWT off instantly. Obviously, they lost the last matchup 16-12. However, they showed signs of good things to come. They lost both pistols. They had a close matchup. Now it's going to be their map pick on train. They're the ones who have picked this matchup, and they're going to have something planned and ready and obviously poised to take on Fish on this one. It could be a 1-1. I said, I think Fish123 win this best-of-3 2-1. That doesn't mean I still anticipate WEHAWT to take a map at least. Yeah.
You did say as well, if WEHAWT are going to win this, it has to be the smooth 2-0, straight in off the bat. They fall at the first hurdle, they don't pick up Mirage, and that kind of is the safety net map for them as well.